So the question is, what is conscious living and unconscious living? First, conscious living and unconscious living is different way to understand. People are conscious. Everybody is conscious only, but they live in a semi-conscious state, half aware, half not aware. For example, when somebody is eating food, they'll be watching TV or reading newspaper. They're not conscious of eating food. They're conscious of something else. Similarly, when we are driving some car, our attention will be on some music or any other thing, and mechanically the driving happens. So now, what happened to consciousness? When you say speaking of consciousness, paying attention to what we are doing is we call as consciousness. Paying attention to the reality in the present moment. But our attention does not stay in the present moment. It shifts to past or future. When we shift to past or future, the past is dead memories. The future is just imagination projection. The mind is you are not conscious of the present moment. You are conscious of unreal past or future. In that way also, we are not in touch with the reality in the given moment. So consciousness means conscious living means consciously being aware of the reality in the present moment. So the reality in the objective world is existence. The name and form are superimposition of the existence. Being aware of existence, being totally present in what we do, all are related to consciousness, conscious living. Even when we are working, we will not be in the present moment, constantly thinking of the result. What should I do? Oh, what is the result? What will come? What will happen? Instead of that, if you are completely in the present moment, doing in the action, rather than focus on the result, rather than getting attached to the result, so that is called conscious action, conscious living. So this Sri Krishna calls us karmanye vadikaraste mahapaleshu kadachana. Focus on the action rather than the rather than worrying about the result, because the result is in future. The mind should be in the present moment. That's a part of the conscious living. While eating, drinking, walking, talking, are we in the present moment? The present moment is the only reality. We cover that up with the past memories or future projections. Then we are lost. We touch the reality. That's called unconscious living. In conscious living, the mind becomes calm. Mind becomes peaceful. In unconscious living, mind is restless because it's in touch with the unreality of the past, unreality of the future. Reality is the blessing. This moment, losing touch with the reality is called unconscious living. So when we speak of conscious living, many people are able to do actions, perform actions in the present moment, but they are not aware of their own inner self. Being aware of the inner self also is a part of conscious living. As you become more and more aware of yourself, you are living consciously. Whatever you do, you are aware that you are aware. That is called conscious living. So the conscious living is two parts. Being aware of the self nature. Who am I? Being aware that I am awareness, not the mind and body and intellect. That's the conscious living. To understand, ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾಮ್ನಾನಿ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ is called conscious living. Second part of the conscious living is whatever we do, whenever we interact with the world, to be in the reality, to be in the present moment reality rather than the past or future is also conscious living. So conscious living is a bliss. Conscious living mind becomes calm and peaceful. In unconscious living, mind becomes restless because you're not in touch with the reality. This is the essence of conscious living and unconscious living. To summarize, conscious living means being conscious of who am I, the real self, not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, pure awareness. I'm awareness. Then putting into action in the world, being fully present in the moment to moment, every moment, giving focus to what work we are doing rather than getting attached to result, not allowing the mind to drift in the past or future is all called conscious living. I'll give you example of Amrita Annamai, Mata Amrita Annamai. As a child, she used to go to the market, bring vegetables, carry in a basket on her head, and every step she used to say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. If she misses one or two steps, forgets telling Krishna in one step, she'll go back and say Krishna and come back again. So she was making the mind, directing the mind to associate every step with Krishna, every moment of life with the Krishna consciousness. Another thing happened with Buddha. Buddha and Ananda were walking. So Buddha suddenly stopped and stepped 2 steps back, hit his face, then again walked. Ananda was surprised. Asked Buddha, what did you do? Buddha said, one mosquito was biting me. I hit that mosquito. Anand said, you already bit the mosquito twice. Earlier once you did, now again you repeated. Buddha said, first time when I did, I was unconscious. My hand unconsciously hit the mosquito. Now this time I did with the consciousness, awareness. So many actions you do unconsciously, and that unconsciousness becomes a part of our life. We have to become aware. So are we living a conscious life or unconscious life? The choice is ours. If we live with unconscious life, what will happen? The unconscious habits and patterns overtake us. We will be subject to vagaries of the mind. Mind becomes the master. If you are live the conscious life, then we'll be able to choose, be aware of what's happening within us, and respond to a situation moment to moment. Right now, we can only react because reaction comes from the subconscious mind. Conscious mind, when you operate on the conscious mind, actions happen, appropriate actions happen, moment to moment. Also, living part of conscious life is acceptance of life as it happens. Once we understand the nature of life is constantly changing. So that understanding is also conscious life, conscious living. In constantly changing nature, we cannot hold on to anything. Holding on to anything, any memory, any experience is impossible because nature is changing. So understanding this, we drop clinging to our objects of desire. We let go. Letting go is a part of conscious living. Other part of conscious living is something happens in our life. We don't have control over what happens in our life. Accepting what happens in our life moment to moment as a part of destiny or will of God, mind becomes peaceful. Mind doesn't get agitated. Once you are able to accept destiny, mind is free to choose calmly the right response to life rather than reacting. So, from reaction to action, from rejection of life to acceptance of life, from clinging to dropping of clinging, all these are together called conscious living. Unconscious living is a person is alive, but he is semi-conscious, half dead. Live consciously your life. Question is, a person is living consciously and person is living unconsciously. What is the difference in their life? Is there a difference or not? There's a difference. Conscious living makes a difference. A person, a Zen master, was asked, what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is just being in the present moment. So before enlightenment, what happened to you, and what happened after enlightenment, what happened to you? Or is there a difference? Zen Master says, before enlightenment, I was going to forest, cutting wood, fetching wood, cutting tree, fetching wood, cooking food, bringing water, and eating. What happened after enlightenment? I do the same thing. I go to the forest, cut tree, fetch wood, cook the food, bring water, and eat. Then what is the difference? Earlier, I was living unconsciously. My mind was full of thoughts. My mind was restless and disturbed. I was not in the present moment. I was in the past or future, not living my life. After enlightenment, I'm fully in the present moment. The mind is peaceful and calm. I do the same action, but life is full of peace. So this is the difference between the conscious living and unconscious living. Any questions? So is conscious how conscious living and enlightenment are related? For enlightenment, you have to learn how to live consciously. Moment to moment, live present moment. Accept life. Drop clinging. This is all part of process of enlightenment. And finally, it culminates in enlightenment. So when I said Zen Master story, it's not about just enlightenment. It's about conscious living. How conscious living gradually leads to enlightenment, and enlightened being how his life is.